Hey everyone, and welcome back to Brian's Horror Movies for Life YouTube channel, and welcome back to my 1980s horror series, where we're taking a look and reviewing 1982 horror movies currently. So, the movie we're going to take a look at today is another one that I don't have the physical media for. I might get it at some point, but I did stream it on Amazon Prime, which I have a 30-day trial of right now. And that movie is The Beast Within from 1982. So yeah, let's go ahead and talk about The Beast Within. So this is a 1982 American supernatural horror film directed by Philip P. Mora from a screenplay by Tom Holland, the same Tom Holland who wrote Psycho 2 and Fright Night, directed Child's Play, the first one. Set in a small town in rural Mississippi, the story centers on a couple, Eli and Caroline McCleary's son, Michael, who begins exhibiting strange behavior after his 17th birthday. So in 1964, on a rural Mississippi back road, newlyweds Caroline and Eli McCleary get stranded. While Eli walks to a service station to retrieve a tow truck, an unseen creature escapes from a nearby cellar before attacking and raping Caroline. Eli and the service station attendant find the brutalized Caroline lying in the forest. As they drive off, two gunshots are heard. 17 years later, the McCleary's son Michael, conceived because of Caroline's rape, has become ill. The family returns to Mississippi looking for information about the man who assaulted Caroline in case Michael's illness is genetic. They learn about the unsolved murder of a mortician named Lionel Kerwin. 17 years prior, the townspeople, including Judge Kerwin and newspaper editor Edwin Kerwin, refuse to tell them anything. Eli and Caroline ask Sheriff Bill Poole about Lionel's death. Poole tells them Lionel's corpse was found partially eaten. So yeah, that's to set up the premise, the beginning of The Beast Within from 1982. As far as the cast goes, we have Paul Clemens as Michael McCleary, Ronnie Cox as Eli McCleary, B.B. Besh as Caroline McCleary, Don Gordon as Judge Kerwin, R.G. Armstrong as Doc Schoonmaker, Catherine Moffat as Amanda Platt, L.Q. Jones as Sheriff Bill Poole, Logan Ramsey as Edward Curran, and John Dennis Johnson as Horace Platt. So that's to set up the premise and the cast for the 1982 supernatural slasher movie, The Beast Within. Yeah, I liked this movie. I thought this was an entertaining movie. I would classify it as more of like a beast slasher movie, or a monster slasher movie, if you will. More than just like a supernatural horror movie like they have. But with that being said, let's talk about what I liked about this movie with my pros. And the first thing is there's a transformation scene that takes place in this movie probably about an hour and 20 minutes in, hour and a half in, something. Well, no, it'd be more like an hour 15, hour 20 minutes in. It's towards the end of the movie, the beginning of the third act, and it's just a wonderful transformation scene where one of the human characters ends up transforming into a monster, basically, a beast, as the movie would have you believe, and it's just very well done from a practical. Of course, it's all practical effects, being 1981-82. But from a practical effect and makeup standpoint, it's very effective, very, very well done, and also effectively creepy, given the performance of Paul Clemens, who's the character of Michael McCleary that turns into this beast, transforms into this beast, and just the overall atmosphere that takes place within this scene. Overall, it's very well done. It's I don't know if I would put it up there with like The Howling, or maybe The Howling. I don't know about an American Werewolf in London, which I really like, but that it's a great transformation sequence because of the practicality of the effects and everything with it, as opposed to what you'd get nowadays, which would be a lot of CGI. So that was really the first thing that really had my attention throughout that whole scene. I was kind of on the edge of my seat. It was very well done, very effective. Also, the performances across the board in this movie are really solid, especially by Paul Clemens, who plays Michael McCleary. And he really, I mean, he's kind of the main character in this movie in a lot of ways. He has to do a lot of has kind of a lot of emotional kind of scenes, a lot of physically challenging kind of scenes, and I thought he does a really good job. Also, Ronnie Cox, who plays his dad of Eli, and L.Q. Jones, who was the sheriff Bill Poole in this movie. I thought they were really solid, but really the whole cast is good here. I thought there are a number of kills that are pretty bloody on screen, gory throughout the movie, kind of violent as well, where the beast is taking people out and killing them. I'm not going to say it's the most gory kills that you'll ever see, but I thought it's definitely not cutaway or off screen. So that's some pretty effective blood and gore as far as the kills go. The score in the movie is effectively creepy, and it really adds to the overall dark tone of the movie. And this is a movie that definitely has a dark tone going for it. Definitely, there's no humor injected here. This is a very dark, serious kind of movie, and I think they pull that off pretty well. But yeah, it's definitely the score is definitely in tune with that. The movie does have an interesting and engaging sort of mystery / story going on. More mystery, I would say, as far as what's happening, why it's happening, and where it all originated from. As the family comes back and tries to do a bit of research and tries to find out from these townsfolk, like the sheriff and the judge, and the mortician, exactly what happened, and trying to find answers, basically. And I thought that was all very interesting and engaging, at least to me. There's a pretty cool Southern Gothic setting and atmosphere as well. And this, of course, the movie takes place in Mississippi during the late 70s, early 80s. And it really has that look and Southern Gothic tone to it. I thought it looked really well, and you can really feel that setting going on. And then finally, the movie looks really good, and I thought it was well shot. They got some outdoor nighttime scenes in the woods and a full moon, and just some good background and some good just a good looking shot movie overall. So yeah, those are my pros for The Beast Within from 1982. As far as cons go, I only have a couple. One of them is more of a warning that there are a couple of rape scenes in this movie. One at the beginning, as was mentioned when I went through the premise. There's also another one pretty much at the end of the movie. So be warned about that. If you're somebody that doesn't necessarily care to see that, or it gets triggered by it. I wouldn't say that it's overly graphic. I mean, they don't show everything, but they definitely show you enough to let you know what's happening. It's not cutaway or anything like that. Where clothes are being ripped and fully exposed, full frontal women are being exposed there. So just kind of a warning when it comes to that. I know rape isn't always something that everybody's gets behind or necessarily wants to see. I at least want to put the warning out there. But my biggest con, I would say overall, is there are a lot of inconsistencies and things that don't really match up or make a lot of sense as it relates to the story. As the story goes on, I just don't think it's as tight or overall effective as it could have been. Again, it doesn't take away a lot from the movie as far as it being unwatchable or anything like that. But for me, there's a lot of characters that are introduced. There's a lot going on in this movie. This isn't just one of those sit back and turn your brain off kind of movies. I mean, it can be if you don't care about the story and you're just in it for the carnage on screen and stuff. Then you'll be fine with this movie. But again, some of the story makes sense. The mystery is good. there's definitely enough to get engaged in, but there's just a lot going on, and I don't think they connect all the dots or cross all the T's or dot all the I's that they could have. They set up some things that don't really go anywhere, things like that. So just kind of know that going in. But otherwise, overall, guys, I thought this was a very effective watch. I'm not going to say it was a fun watch because, like I said, it is a very dark and serious tone movie, but it's effective. It's well done, and I'm going to give this movie a 7.5 out of 10. So 7.5 out of 10 for The Beast Within from 1982. I know they did a remake of this in 2020. I don't know if it's at all related to this one or if it's a completely its own thing or not. You can comment down below if you've seen that or if you know. But otherwise, comment down below if you've seen The Beast Within, the one from 1982, and what your thoughts are on it. I know a lot of people really like it. Some people not so much, but I like it. I don't love it, but I do like it. And I probably will add it to my collection. I did find some Blu-rays, issues of it out there on eBay and stuff. It's not overly cheap. I mean, it's going to be $15-20 from what I could see, especially if you want the Blu-ray. So I'm probably not going to be in a hurry to get it, but I would like to add it to my collection at some point because I'm always a fan of like beast or monster kind of movies. And also there's definitely slasher elements in this one. Of course, there's a lot of slashers being made during this time. So anyway, with that being said, thank you for watching. Please like this video, hit the notification bell, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. It would really help me out for the future content on my channel. But with that being said, thank you for watching, and as always, stay scared. Bye.